question their existence. What are you as a man? What are you going to do? Just take this, lay down? You may not win Saturday, and I don't expect that they will, but you may not win on Saturday, but then that's what Hugh Freeze is saying, like, but you have to show something, because you didn't show something this past Saturday against New Mexico State. You didn't show anything on the lines of scrimmage.
Yeah. Is that it?
Heath, how's your Tuesday?
You know, Chuck, one of the things I've always found fascinating, and I think you've probably known somebody like this, because I think we just about all have, is the kind of person who says something like, oh, I'm not that kind of guy. You know, it's like, I'm not the kind of guy who goes to strip clubs. He's telling you after he's just, like, gone to a strip club, you know, I'm not normally that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of guy. Whatever it might be. Lots of people love to say they're not that kind of guy while they order the second dessert that eats too much. You can't say publicly, I think, if you're an AD, this is not an 8-4 job. When people look at your resume and they see the following records since 2015: 8-5, 8-5, 7-6, 9-4, 8-5, 9-1 in the pandemic, 8-4. And obviously we're talking about the Aggies here. Ross Bjork said that yesterday, Chuck. This is not an 8-4 job. You win the national championship, you'll get paid like a national championship coach, which is great. If you win the national championship, you should get paid like a national championship coach. But how many years in a row do they have to be basically an 8-4 job before it occurs to them, maybe we are in fact an 8-4 job? Because there's a long history. You can go back as far as Cheryl, Slocum, whoever you want to go with, Des Franchione. It's not always 8-4. Sometimes it's worse. Occasionally it's a game or two better. But it is basically year in, year out an 8-4 job. And I just don't get people who can look at decades of evidence and just say, nah, it's not an 8-4 job. No, it is. It really, really is.
Yeah, I don't think they have won a championship of any kind since maybe 99.
98, that year that they got the upset of K-State in the Big 12 title game. That's it.
God bless that win, but that's been like a quarter of a century since they've won any sort of championship of any in a conference that doesn't, I mean, they're not even in it anymore.
I don't understand how you can keep saying, look, we all know the deal, right? You've got lots of money, and you're in the state of Texas, which is loaded with talent. And so the conclusion is, hey, we got money coming out our ears, we got all this talent in the state, and we've been able to have some really talented guys come here. We've had multiple guys come here and win Heisman trophies. There's no reason we couldn't be better. That's fine. You want to say we strive for better? Cool. Just like I could say, Chuck, in 2024, man, I need to lose 25 pounds. But I can't say, I'm not a kind of guy who's a little overweight, because I am. The only way I'm not going to be able to say I'm not a little overweight is to actually make sure that I change the diet a little bit, work a little harder at it, get a couple more times a week in the gym as opposed to only 2 or 3, get 4 or 5, and actually lose the 25 pounds. I can't just go around declaring I don't weigh the extra 25 pounds when I do. You sound like an idiot.
If we go back to when I was growing up, and like when we start paying attention, we think, well, this is how it's always been, and then we get this, like we start thinking, well, it's supposed to be. I grew up as a guy named Bobby Crimmins. Took the job, coaching job at Georgia Tech, and a guy named John Thompson got the job at Georgetown. I thought Georgia Tech and Georgetown were basketball schools. And I spent about 10 years in the early OOs going, what's wrong? These programs, you got to commit and get back to the greatness. You know what actually happened, Heath? Georgia Tech hired their all-time best coach. Georgetown hired its all-time best coach. And when that guy left, there's been residue in individual seasons, but they never were great basketball schools, were they?
No, in Tech, I mean, I think we all wonder about why it can't be more, but yeah, when you see the evidence at this point, yes, if you're walking around saying this is a Final Four level program, you're not paying attention.
In Texas A&M, turns out when they had Jackie there, they had it going on in a conference that also doesn't exist and basically probationed itself into non-existence. And then when they had Hersey Slocum, they had it going on ever so often, and Mike Leach had Texas Tech number 2 in America. So we all have these examples of when teams kind of pop and we think, well, this is how it's supposed to be. Truth is, decades, nay, a century says maybe not.
This statement is not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
Active Liver is one of many award-winning health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at Amazon.com or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Available as a tablet or delicious sugar-free gummy. Protect and help your liver the easy and effective way with Active Liver at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Would you like to eliminate your expensive cable bill forever or get new satellite internet where cable can't go? Well, now you can have affordable satellite internet service for a few dollars a day. All you need is a mini satellite installed and you can have unlimited internet connections wirelessly in your home or office. And no cable boxes means unlimited connections and no clutter. You can surf the internet or stream any of your favorite television services with no cable. And the best part is, satellite internet service costs only a few dollars a day for your entire home. Yes, fast internet to surf or stream television for a few bucks a day. Call now for free details and learn how to drop your expensive cable bill.
800-395-0342. 800-395-0342. 800-395-0342.
Breathe business ownership. Go to primesouth.com.
So what are you doing for that special meal on Friday or Saturday night? Carter's Fried Chicken in Blackshear should be first on your list. Catfish, flounder, livers, and gizzards, and fried chicken are the top entrees with great sides like fried squash, mashed potatoes, and homemade slaw. There's burgers, steak sandwiches, salads as well. But make no mistake, their fried chicken is worth the visit. Carter's has long had the best fried chicken in South Georgia. So make plans for lunch or dinner. Carter's Fried Chicken, 517 Gordon Street in Blackshear.
Southern Hills Golf Club in Hawkinsville is Middle Georgia's best golf value. And that's before you start talking about military discs
and desserts. It's where Warner Robins meets and eats. McCall Sandwich Shop, 1000
Oliver Show.
Who's going Chuck Oliver Show?
Oklahoma State. He's been super successful at Texas, and he just got let go at Penn State. Mike Yurcich, top 30 offensive coordinator in college football right now. You look at the whole body of work, you're an opportunity. So that'd be one of the first guys right off the top of my head that I know is available right now. And you know, it's tough to get in another one that I think is going to be, we've been talking about it for years and years and years out of the group of five. Don't get yourself a Tim Francie out of Memphis.